All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the world. This is Pastor Dowell. Now, I don't want some of you people to think that I'm non-responsive on what you call Saturdays, but I have been observing the Sabbath day of the Most High, or what the King James Version say, the Lord thy God, for 20 years. So on Saturdays, and that starts from Friday night nightfall till Saturday night nightfall, I'm pretty much out of the net when it comes to this YouTube thing because I'm busy with ministry. We have a lot of the saints that come over, we fellowship, and then once we get finished with service and worship and rest, we come over and we sit down and we just have a wonderful day of rest. And we thank the Most High for it. It's pretty easy to understand it. Matter of fact, all you do is pick up your Bible and read Exodus, the 20th chapter, verses 8 through 11. So the seventh day is I'm pretty much out of net. And so I'm here this morning to answer the question because I've had a flood of correspondence sent to me asking what is my take on the Egyptian thing. I mean, what do you think, Pastor Dowell? I mean, Mubarak has fled the country. What do you think? And so I know that some people value my opinion, and that's all I can give you on things like this is my opinion, but yet I believe that my opinion is truthful. I think that the whole Egypt thing is a fiasco. I think it's pretty sad, but this is my take on it. Imagine the United States of America backing a dictator for over 30 years, giving him $1.2 billion annually to support their military. And then all of a sudden, when the people start rising up, then they oust him and they kick him to the curb. You see, that's the same thing that the United States did with Saddam Hussein. They told us that when 9/11 happened, that Osama bin Laden, who's somewhere up in Afghanistan dwelling in caves, are you following me? They told us, that's what they said, that he was the one that took down the Twin Towers. Now, I don't believe that. I saw that it was a controlled demolition. I was as a matter of fact, I was in town that day and I was watching it as it happened on the TV. And I said that is a controlled demolition. I know exactly what a controlled demolition looks like. I was in the military for a long time and I've seen a lot of things blow up and a lot of things come down. And so I knew that there's no way that a raghead somewhere in the mountains and cave over in Afghanistan could have the ability to do something like that. It takes a long time to wire up those buildings for those things to come down and control demolition. So what do? Well, we load up the United States hit squad, the armies, the mafia, the United States Air Force, Navy, and Marines, and we go to Iraq and we oust the dictator. Now, what do you think is the reason is, Pastor Dowell? Because, I mean, if he's in Afghanistan, what do we go to Iraq for? Well, because it's the oil. It's the oil. You see, the people here in America and these news sources and the powers that be, they're not ever planning on squaring with you people. The reason why that they have these controlled news media and sources out there is because they don't want you to get any ideas to act like what the Egyptian people just did. What the Egyptian people just did was they ousted a dictator that was greatly influenced by the United States of America. That's what they did. And they're sick and tired of colonialism and Western control. So the people protested. That is what a real protest is. These peaceful protests, showing up for a day or two, threatening politicians, we're going to vote you out of office, that ain't going to do you no good. That's not, and the so-called founding fathers of this country, they knew that. What do you people think about your Tea Party jackleg candidates now? Huh? They still renewed the Patriot Act, even with the Tea Party people in. I told you that when these people get up there, they grandstand. First of all, number one, on the campaign trail, because you people put so much trust in a broken system. And so they get up there and they grandstand for you, and you actually think that change is really coming. So the only interest that our government has is in corporations and businesses and the wealthy, not you poor people. Everything that goes on in this world is austerity measures for us poor people, and it's bailouts and defaults for the rich. I mean, our government took $22 trillion of bailout money that they didn't report, And Ben Shalom Bernanke would not tell you where the money went. I can tell you where it went. It went to a bunch of foreign banks. And he can sit right up there on CNBC and look at you people and laugh, and you people believe it. So my job is to help us poor folks, because I'm not a rich person and I'm not a middle class person. I just do what I can to protect the people around me and myself from this upcoming pending economic collapse. Now, I use the word pending loosely because it's already starting to happen. It's been started to happen. And so when you see these people in Egypt rise up like this and then oust the dictator, the truth is that's the same thing that needs to take place here in America, because it is our policies, it's our politicians that has influenced that country, all in the interest of that pagan satanic country called Israel. So the reason why that they're reluctant to remove him and stuff, and then they have to throw him under the bus in order to preserve themselves, because they don't want the rest of the world to actually know that the Americans have some type of influence and involvement in it. So they have these propagandized news sources to keep you docile and to keep you demoralized and to have you hoping. And that's the one thing that the rich people fear. They fear the peasants rising up with their pitchforks and their axes and their shovels coming for them with rolling guillotines to chop their heads off. That's what they fear, because there's more of us than it is of them. And they know that. And the last thing they want to see in America is millions of people on the street making a run on the White House. Now, we'll tell you what they would do. They're going to roll out the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines, because they're paid by this system. They're paid by the American government. And they're not going to have any problem firing upon American people. As a matter of fact, 300 people died in Egypt in order to get what you call democracy. You know, every time I hear that word, they keep using that word so much, and what they're doing is trying to implant it into your head and into your mindset and try to make you think that there's something that is necessary, something that we need. Now, if I remember just the simple pledge of an allegiance, it simply goes like this. It says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. Now, the truth is, under Satan. That's who God is. That's why people don't want to define who that God is. That God is Satan. That's why we use names. Individual and liberty and justice for all. No, it ain't justice for you. It's justice for them. And that's what they consider the all. And that's the truth. You see, I'm brutally honest here. I know that you don't want to hear it. I know that you want to put your head in the sand. I know you want to walk down your yellow brick road thinking that everything is going to pan out and it's all going to be good. No, it ain't. You have been taken advantage of, and they know it. They know how to manipulate your mind. They know how to use trigger words, because you have been trained by this system by going to their public schools. That's why 20 years ago I came out, and have been coming out ever since. I've homeschooled my children. Here at the community, we homeschool all of our children. We have people that associate with our church. We have at least 7, 8, 9 people that have college degrees, some of them 2 and 3. People who have owned businesses before. We have a very intelligent group of people, but we've had an experience with the Most High. That's why we do what we do, because we're not going to be influenced by this system that trains us and teaches us to be subordinate, thinking that we can function in it and exalt the righteous laws of the Most High, and then put the traditions of men above those laws like they teach you to do, and actually think you can still serve him in them cities. You can't do it. It cannot be done. That's why we're out here. We've obeyed what the scripture says in the book of Acts. So now the American government, the USS of A, they don't want the people getting any ideas of rising up, because the truth is, we need a revolution and a revolt. Egypt is a blueprint to what needs to happen in every industrialized nation here on the face of planet Earth. The people need to oust the government that is in place, and especially all those politicians. And that's the truth. You know, you think about unemployment. They keep playing around with numbers, talking about this at 9%. You see, they can keep telling you this all they want, but the truth is unemployment is like 25%. Because what they don't tell you is that once your unemployment benefits run out, that you just actually go out of the system, and so therefore they can keep manipulating these numbers, lying to you, deceiving you, manipulating you, and trying to make you think that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow when it really truly isn't. None whatsoever at all. And so when they tell you, when Barack Hussein Obama gets up there and tells you that, we created 1.2 million jobs this month, he is actually telling you the truth, but he's not telling you where those jobs are at. I'm going to tell you where those jobs are at. They created 1.2 million jobs, American companies, in China, in Mexico, in Japan, in India, and all the other places that GAFTA, CAFTA, and NAFTA, all these ABC alphabet soup organizations to outsource all the jobs that you Americans once had. Have you noticed how they're advertising Chevy as if it's a car greater than what the Japanese make? I mean, you can't go anywhere. Internet, TV, any means of advertising. Advertising is Chevy. They're pushing Chevy. You know why? Because you know why? Because they know if they keep flashing images in front of your eyes, images in front of your faces. They know if they keep on doing that you people gonna go, yeah. Before long, this indoctrination, because it's a medium. It's a powerful and strong medium. And they keep on repeating it over in your head. And then one day, you may get up off your couch and go out and buy you a Chevy. The Chevy is still no good of a quality as it was 20 years ago. It's still a mess, brothers and sisters. It is a mess. I feel sorry for many of you people, because no matter how much you hear the warning, you're not going to move. You see, the only way you can tell that someone is really, truly getting this, and you have to understand that I'm first a pastor, so therefore I'm going to reach and preach and teach to the people of the Most High, Yah. And but you've got to come out. You've got to come out. Let me give you another example of manipulation. All right, they're telling you that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is over 12,000. It's been that way for 8 or 9 days, and so there's like, oh man, happy days are here again. No, it ain't either. See, what it is for corporations and for businesses, rather than continue to pay people for employment, and if we can still get the same production out of less people, we can keep our margin up. We can keep all of our profits up, and therefore it reflects in that wicked, satanic stock market. That's why Pastor Dowell for years has been telling you, you better get some silver, you better get some gold. Now, gold is way out of the reach for a lot of us. Silver is still within reach. Commodities, silver, gold, copper, all these things, including rice, beans, wheat, sugar, all these things are based in dollars. And no matter who you are, the time that we have coming up on us is not going to discriminate. It makes no difference whether you're rich or whether you're poor. That's true. Free or bond. It's not going to make any difference. So again, I'm going to give you again the things that you need to do. Number one, don't make excuses for it. Get out of the city. See, I'm telling you that because I did that 20 years ago. You can look at me and pretty much tell what my age is. And mind you, I was in my 20s and understood and saw what was going on. Because I heard from the Spirit of the Most High, and I moved with fear. And I started preparing my house. You better believe I did. And I'm still moving with fear. Get out of debt. You people out there that's got all these college debts, you know what? It is more easier for Wall Street to take trillions of dollars and to bail out the bankers and get them off the books, because the United States cook the books all the time, to get them off the books and off the balance sheets of these banks and stuff than it is for you to actually get out of that loan. As a matter of fact, it's easier to get out of a credit card loan than to get out of a student loan. That's why I tell you people, don't get in debt, no matter what. No matter how easy it is to accept money that is in front of you, don't accept pleasure, a quick fix just for the time being, and then snare yourself. Remember, The scriptures say, and I'll repeat it again, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. That's not hard to understand. There's no need in explaining it. If you are in debt, you are a slave to the system. That's why I tell you, get out of debt. Start taking control of your own future by storing up your own food, storing up water, getting silver, getting gold and stuff. Because when this dollar fails, and it collapses, and it will, and it is going to, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? When the new currency come in, it's going to be backed up by tangible assets. So the IMF, the CFTC, JP Morgan, all these boogers are not going to matter then, because it's going to be backed up by tangible assets. And the only way that you're going to be able to do business, because the business is no longer going to take fiat currency. They're going to take tangible assets. And silver and gold is the Most High Yah's money, and it has been for the last 5,000, 6,000 years, and it always will be up until the time when the Most High breaks them clouds and come through and set up his kingdom in the new Jerusalem. And that is the truth, and that is the truth straightway. The king is coming.